Hi guys, I'm not 100% sure how I set the settings here. There's a little too much light coming from here. And also, you probably can't tell my lipstick is not an optimal shade. But I wanted to say something before I lose the initiative to do so. Today I went on a retreat. A good friend of mine who's a Reiki master does yearly retreats, and since I've returned more or less, like C.S. Lewis reluctantly, to Christianity, I have not been going on these things because I don't believe in what they are saying. There's I don't do Reiki anymore. Today's program, though I did not know at the end, they started talking about Abraham Hicks again, which I totally have turned away from. I feel that's channeling demons, and then they also went into prosperity preaching, not Christian prosperity preaching, but a 40-day prosperity program. Again, something I don't believe in. These are not holy doves, by the way, they're elephants. But I went because it's a friend of mine, and I haven't seen these people for a while. It was a nice day out at the local arboretum. And as I'm going in, I see my friend from work. Now, God is funny in that recently he has put two very Christian people on either side of me. There's a gentleman who's moved in recently, and there's a woman in the next aisle. And this was the woman from the next aisle. And the first person who greets me is Mary. Hello, so-and-so, revealing my name. How are you doing? And I said, yeah, there happens to be a retreat in this place today. And she goes, oh yeah, what kind of retreat? And here I am kind of like waffling. I don't want to say New Age meditation Reiki retreat. I said, well, it's a women's retreat, but it's my friend, and she's a Reiki master, but I really don't believe in that anymore. And then she's kind of like, well, people in church do yoga. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's a nice day, so it's good to see you. And I said, well, that was one heck of a coincidence to see this person, like right as I'm going into the retreat house. And so we're doing our exercises. We come in, and my friend has music playing. She's playing the Om chant, which normally I would be fine with, but I'm not comfortable with that stuff anymore. But okay, let it go. And then we're handed our workbooks, and we're handed our theme for the day. And my friend really does put a lot of effort into it. There's a lot of handouts. She provides water. She provides a snack. And we buy our lunch on the premises because there's a cafe. And then we do this other thing that's a standard with her. It's from Byron Katie, and it's where people sit across from each other. And you're supposed to say something, and the other person, you ask a question, and the other person answers, and you're not supposed to make a judgment. And then the other person does it to you. So I sit across from this woman I don't know. Turns out she's a yoga instructor, and she's telling me how God is within us and all this external is nothing, and Jesus was a yogi. Okay, so now it's my turn to say something about myself. And I go, well, I really don't know what I can say about myself. I kind of have nothing to tell you. And this was bullshit. This was utter bullshit on my part, because I had plenty when I was confronted with this very nice person who I feel is on the totally wrong path. And then the next thing was like, tell us something you don't want us to know about yourself. And the woman says, I don't understand why you don't want to tell me anything about yourself. I find this really puzzling. And then it's my turn. And this is like done in like 1 minute bursts. It's supposed to be a very fast exercise where you're not supposed to let your ego get in on it. And I'm going, well, this is hard for me, but I got to say this to you, that I've recently gone back to Christianity, and I've been on this path before. I mean, I was raised, I went to a Jesuit school, and I became a Baha'i. I've been a spiritualist, and I am now a Christian, and I cannot wrap my head around the fact that you think Jesus was just a yogi. And I can't condemn you, and I don't want to insult you, but I totally do not follow what you're following, and on a personal level, I want to apologize to you, which is about the weakest witness I think any Christian can give. So, we didn't really have to interact with each other after that. And I noticed I'm not saying she was avoiding me, but she wasn't really interacting with me. Although somehow we ended up at these literally opposite ends of the same table at our lunch. And then, I said, I'm glad I met you today. And she said the same thing to me. And then at the end, I said something like, it was nice to meet you. But all this time, like, wow, I just basically told her that I don't believe where she's at. Not that Christians don't come to these retreats, but I am not in the same place where most of these people are now when we stand up and we read things. And she brought out the fairy cards. I don't do cards. We were offered Reiki. I could not refuse it, literally, because she went around the circle. What was I supposed to do? Like duck my head? So, it was a decent day. I was talking to some people, and we had a nice lunch, and we did stuff. But, like, wow. Again, I go back to Lewis. I was like, it's hard. It's hard to. This was not the place. This was not an easy place to say, I think this is all bogus. Because, I do not know this woman, but I was watching her, and she's, doing the meditating and do all this. And I'm thinking, I used to be like that. I was in that very place, and I cannot fault her. But I cannot go to another retreat, that's for sure, because I totally have rejected all these things which I think are not what God wants, including the prosperity gospel and including the Reiki. And I definitely do not believe that Jesus was a yogi. And I guess that Mary was the first person I saw to kind of remind me, like, yo, you're a Christian, defend the faith. I wasn't defending it today. But at the same time, it was hard to profess it to a stranger who I believe is totally on the wrong path. So this is Reverend Chester telling you how my day was. I'm going to go have a snack now, and I'll be talking to you over the weekend. Have a good evening, and God bless.